Broadcasting live from the Ox, Lewis Least the Third, and this is the Positive Network. How are all you positive folks doing out there on a Friday night? Me myself, I'm doing fine. I'm always doing fine. I'm gonna get back into some of these books though. Oh, my question of the night. Let me pull up my YouTube so I can see what's going on.
One of the things that separated Young Dolph from other rappers was his jewelry. Not just the particular brand name of the jewelry, but the color coordination. The Smurf blue with the rose gold and the white diamonds. He had the Rolex Sky Dweller, which retailed at $50,000, including the customizations. The Richard Mille, which was $250,000, including the Smurf Blue, Aqua Blue diamonds. Richard Mille's, they retail at $250,000 for the customization, around $300K for this arm piece. The Sonic the Hedgehog pendant with the chain, with the
Question of the
green
night
emeralds in the eye.
is.
He paid a Lamborghini for the set, which was $250,000. The
Let
6-point star for PRE,
me
which
see.
is worth $60,000.
I wanted to make it light since it's Friday.
Smurf blue,
I was talking to my friend,
and white diamonds.
and she wanted the question of the night to be about these
Then about
kids.
9 months after, that
Do
same
we
police department told Young Dolph
underestimate
Young
how
Dolph
smart
rapped
these
about
kids
this
are?
particular incident
You know what I mean?
in the
Because she
song
was saying
Gorilla
like she
Tree.
had an
He talked
incident
about how he got
with
pulled
a
over.
child, and
Two
you know what I
years
mean,
later,
and
there was
they
5 police
know
cars
to run
behind him.
and get
Police
the
car
cell phone. They
allegedly
know all
assumed
these
that his
things,
tags
and
were
you
expired.
know what I mean.
That's when
And,
hit the lights on Young Dolph.
are
According
these
to
kids
reports,
smarter
they
than
say
we
Young
think they
Dolph
are,
threw something out the window.
or
He
more
slowed down a little distance
cunning
and then pulled
than we
over.
think they are?
They
You
were
know what I mean?
saying
Because
that he
we've
wanted
been
to put the key
teenagers
out
and
the
stuff like
window.
that too. But back in our day, it was, you know what I mean, it was a little different. But teenagers have always been some sneaky. They like some sneaky people. Always been sneaky people. But the thing is that, like she was saying, kids are maturing a lot faster because of this technology. So the question that I wanted to ask y'all was, do you think you underestimate how smart these children are? And I'm talking about at all ages. Are we underestimating how smart they are? We're not really smart as much as know how to make things work in their favor. You know, even manipulation. We're talking about sometimes 8, 9, 10 year olds and manipulating people. Do they have the ability to do that? You know? And me personally, I don't have no kids. So I'm just, you know what I mean? When I look at kids, I'm mostly looking at teenagers and stuff. And knowing how I was as a teen, I think as parents, you are going to underestimate how slick they are. You really are. I'm not. I have no kids, so you know my thing is based on no knowledge of nothing. I'm a single man who's, you know, whatever. But I'm saying my knowledge is based on no knowledge of nothing. I'm just asking, and I'm gonna put this question right up here in the little chat joint, and I'm trying to do that right now. The question is, are we underestimating how smart these kids are in this day and age? They not gonna let me put it in there. Dang let me see. Yeah, they ain't gonna well maybe I can write it in there. Are we as adults underestimating how smart children are? Why are we underestimating these children? Let me say hello to everyone. You can speak back if you want. I don't breathe fire. Excuse me. You don't have to be El Wachitos. You can interact with me. I'm not a fire breathing dragon.
What you doing out here? Just visiting.
I actually think I'm pretty cool. Okay, I was gonna let y'all continue to listen to some of these books. Give me one second. But that's the topic of the night. Please drop a comment if you're in. Let's get this thing going. I think it's pretty interesting. I was gonna go with sex, but she scared. I was gonna go with sex because it's like Friday night, but she scared me away from that, and that's what I went with. That's a. I would have put it on a weekday, but it's Friday. You probably looking for something sexy and you know what I mean, something risque. You know, so I wanted to have something like that, but I mean, I'm always open to advice. Always. All right, let's get into. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, this is Cherie's Crossing. This is a book by my sister, Rochelle Davis. R.D. Archer is her pen name. This book is let me check 99 cents for the Kindle. The audio book is free with the membership and $8.99 for the paperback. The Audible has a running time of 1 hour and 7 minutes. And this is the description. Shari dreamed of the day she would get her diploma and be the first in her family to earn her bachelor's degree. Excuse me. She's an average college student into her books and adored by her boyfriend Neil. Cherie knew that the college experience would prepare and open her up to a whole new world. She wasn't prepared for what she found. Cherie's world becomes a haze as past and present collide, altering her grasp on what's real and what's not. As Cherie fights to get answers and attempt to hold on to her sanity, her world as she knows it has become Cherie's Crossing. Here's a sample of the book.
Young Dolph admitted to those two. Now, Charlamagne the God pretty much left the door open for Young Dolph to explain.
This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks.
DJ Envy said that he reached
Shari's
out to
Crossing
Young Dolph and he wanted to
by
make sure he
R.D.
was good
Archer.
at. Now, this is when Charlamagne said, "What's your
York-bound
right?
Publications.
This is when Dolph
Presents.
said neither situation had
Shari's
anything
Crossing.
to do with him, and he
Written
wasn't
by
there.
R.D.
But it goes to
Archer.
show that it was two.
Follow R.D. Archer on Twitter at
When
Passion082.
this incident happened in North Carolina, I
Follow
called
York-bound
somebody else.
Publications on Twitter at York-bound Pub. Shari's Crossing is a work of fiction. Names, characters, and events are from the author's imagination or used fictitiously. Any resemblance to actual people or events is purely coincidental. No parts of this book may be reproduced or transmitted without the consent of the author, except in the case of small quotes used for reviews. York-bound Publications. Copyright 2017 by York-bound Enterprise. www.yorkboundpublications.com.
Around 4 a.m.,
The pain of one soul helped to free another soul.
Uploaded a picture in front of a Sprinter van. This same Sprinter van
Chapter
was
1.
up 50 times. No one was injured. There was two people inside of the
I've been
actual
up since
Sprinter van.
4:30 this morning, getting breakfast started for Miss Sarah and the
That it
kids.
was a Memphis rapper inside
I
of
went
the
out
Sprinter
back
van,
to the shed
and
to
one of
get
the
some
let me,
eggs and milk.
before this is a book of basically this woman, she keeps having these dreams of slavery and her being a slave, and she keeps having these dreams. She's a black woman. She has a white boyfriend. So she goes out. This book was written before that Get Out and all that other shit came out. So she goes up there to the to where this guy family live at, and there's a plantation. And then the dreams she come back to her, and you'll read the book and you'll find out the rest. But I want you to know how it's like, kind of, like how it is when she first,
Milk from the icebox. It's still dark outside. I turned to leave to head back to the house, only to find Massa Willis blocking the door. He took a drag off his cigarette and blew the smoke into the early morning air. I feel sick to my stomach and desperate to leave. I look down at the hay on the shed floor. I can feel the sweat beating on my forehead and my breath quickening. I looked up and Massa Willis is right in front of me. I tell myself, don't make him mad. Maybe he will be done fast and maybe he won't hurt me. He say good morning to me, but I don't say nothing. I just keep my eyes focused on the floor. He say, don't you hear me talking to you, girl? I say, yes, sir. I hears fine, and I best be getting inside to start breakfast for Miss Sarah. He say Miss Sarah's still sleeping, and don't you want to have some fun? I don't say nothing, and he don't wait for an answer. He pushed me on the floor. The eggs and jug of milk shatter on the floor. Massa step on my chest with his boot and take another drag off his cigarette. His eyes was black and empty, and I could swear I was looking at the devil himself. Massa plucked the cigarette on my arm and started pulling his overalls from his shoulders. He let his pants drop to the floor and kicked them off his feet to the side. Oh, Lord, help me. I don't want him to touch me. He say, open your legs. I don't. I hold tightly to the hem of my dress to keep it down. I say, please, Massa Willis, please don't. He bent over me and gripped my dress with both hands, exposing my bare booty.
That is Cerise Crossing by R.D. Archer, my sister. I'm proud of it. She did it. She did it.
And then
And it's a good book.
at the CIAA again the next year.
But you can get the Kindle for free if you got Amazon Prime. You get the audio book free if you get a membership, and you get what they say, you can cancel the membership at any time. Yeah, so you won't even have to pay the bill if you come, and you can get the paperback for $8.99. And let's keep it going. Oh, yeah. The question of the night.
Now, a lot of people don't know about
the question of the night is,
and it wasn't just Young Dolph getting shot at. Young Dolph.
Are we as adults underestimating how smart children are, and why?
25, 2017. It happened around 6:09.
My answer was, I think we are.
On February 25th, on the 500 block of North Caldwell Street, two vehicles were traveling.
I was telling my friend earlier, like,
occupants in both vehicles.
He was saying like the young boy, he was acting up because he might have been embarrassed. And I was like, yeah, when you know you like that young age, you get embarrassed, you do the most not to be embarrassed because you're a boy. You know, that's how boys are, like their little world, everything to them is in that little world. So it's so small, like any embarrassing thing, you feel like, you know what I mean?
And the people reacted.
You know, it's easy to be embarrassed, but you don't, as a little boy, you don't want to be embarrassed. And I was using an example of me, when me, my cousin Chris, and my sister, we went down to Great Adventure. This is back in the day kind of Great Adventure, like 80s, I believe. Yeah, 80s, because that's when that song was out. So they had the little music booth, John, like you saw Will and Jada doing when they were singing the Tupac song. They had that joint, but we didn't have a video, but we had the audio. So they put like the music joint on there. And we singing Bobby Brown joint, the Ghostbusters joint. Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. I guess we gonna not have to. It was that joint. So my sister, my cousin, they singing in the background, and I'm singing the lead. So after we get the joint done, you can't even hear them because the background is like the background. The only thing you can hear is me and my voice singing, and they laughed their ass off. Took it back to my aunt, and everybody at my aunt crib, they laughed their ass off. And then every time we got together on a holiday, they was laughing their ass off at me because, you know, it was funny to everybody, but to me it was like mad fucking embarrassing because everybody like pointing at me and they laughing and all this other shit. So finally I stole that motherfucker. My mom had it sitting over there by the motherfucking they used to call it hi-fi. She had it sitting over there by the hi-fi back in the day. I stole that motherfucker. I took it out back and I stomped on that bitch. I stomped on that bitch and stomped on that bitch and stomped on that bitch. I'm telling you, man, a young motherfucker will go to the edges of earth not to be embarrassed. But as we mature, things are not that embarrassing. I mean, unless you haven't matured, you know. But I was a little boy, man. I took that joint out back and I stomped on it, man. Because at every holiday event, and that's when we used to do holidays. Every holiday, we together as a family. They always, at some point, they gonna say, "Pull the tape out." Then they talk about, "Man, sing with it. I'm already trying to find some way to ha." You know what I'm saying? They talk about, yeah, man. That was a low. That was a low for me. That was a real low for me. That was a real low. But this joint right here is called "Can't Get It Right" by Kareem Abdul-Rahman. And the Kindle is free if you got Amazon Prime, or 99 cents if you buy it. The audiobook is free with the membership trial. Like I said, you can cancel. And the paperback is $11.99. This book has a listening time of 1 hour and 59 minutes. And here's the description. It seemed like Antonio Thompson was born to lose at everything. Tone had bad luck for as long as he could remember, and that had not changed over the years. He was what most people consider a loser. Not just a person who had caught a few bad breaks in life, but a habitual loser. Even when things seemed to be going Tone's way, things always turned bad quickly. Early on in life, Tone tried to live a life of crime but failed miserably. While doing time in prison, he discovered his true passion in life: gambling.
And he said, "You lose."
Pause for 1 second.
Things pretty much settled down and released an album. And then the album title was
Tone always gambled and always lost. Yet still he convinced himself that one day he would win big. Tone prayed to be the one to catch a lucky break for once. He was willing to trade anything for a little luck. Just when it seemed like no one was listening, his prayers were answered in the form of a winning lottery ticket worth 125 grand. Never having this kind of money before, Tone made the mistake of thinking that he was rich. Tone had always been a loner, but his new fortune brought a lot of new friends into his circle. Tone quickly spent his winnings on gambling, women, and taking care of his new friends. When the money was gone, so were all of his friends, and all of the women who had claimed to love him now wouldn't give him the time of day. Tone turned into the biggest joke in the hood for blowing his money so quickly, and he sank into a deep depression. Tone, to live your whole life with no money is something that you can learn to deal with. But to have had some money and then have to go back to nothing is a tough pill to swallow. Mysteriously, Tone's bad luck changes and he goes on a winning streak that has never been witnessed before. He can't lose, even when he tries to. Tone quickly gets back on top. Instead of making the same mistake of blowing his money, he invests in multiple businesses. He also doesn't make the mistake of letting a bunch of friends into his circle again. But Tone still has his addiction to the strip clubs and paying for sex. His addiction threatens to destroy the only real relationship he's ever had in his life. Tone always wondered where and how this blessing to have so much luck in gambling came from. He soon finds out that his luck was not a blessing, but a curse. The curse comes with a steep price. All Tone ever wanted out of life was to be rich and accumulate hordes of possessions. How much of a price is Tone willing to pay to have the luxuries and material things of this world? Listening time is 1 hour and 59 minutes. This is a sample from the book.
This title is narrated with virtual voice. Computer-generated narration for audiobooks. Can't Get It Right by Kareem Abdul-Rahman. Chapter 1, Meet Antonio.
Antonio Thompson, aka Tom, woke up inside. Another day of the bullshit. Approximately 7 months after that CIW, same shit every day. Young Dolph, the way that he was feeling right now, death would be a welcome relief. But he damn sure wasn't going to kill himself. Lowe's Hotel in Los
Excuse me, I'm
Angeles
sorry.
when he ran into
If you folks didn't know, this is the Positive Network, where we do nothing but positivity. Positivity is a lot easier than negativity. Negative, if you woke up on some negative stuff this morning, your day was probably going to be negative. You would say that before you even put your feet on the floor. You didn't even thank God for waking you up this morning. You went straight to negative. You take for granted that God is going to wake you up every morning. You jump straight to negative. You didn't even give the day a chance. You jump straight to negativity. You dreamed about negativity. This shit is hard to shake. This negative shit is really hard to shake. It's a really hard thing to shake. I was just saying in general, like, you know, to be a negative person and be always negative about this, that, and the other, they ain't gonna do this, they ain't gonna do that, and you know what I mean? It's like, why? Why are you like that? You know what I mean? And people run around talking about how happy that they are. And I don't see how you're so happy when you purposely partake in negativity every stinking day. And then your social media pages always look the same, full of positivity, hope, and joy. But that's not really you, is it? No. What you have is selective positivity. Let's say you go to this person over here, and you say this person is right here in the hierarchy of our group, and I'm right here in the upper echelon of our group. You will say, hey person, go to the store for me. And you will fully expect that person to go to the store for you. But if this person asks you to go to the store for them, you will look at them like they're crazy. This is how groups go. It's called a hierarchy. It's called a hierarchy. This is how groups operate. It's always bottom, up, 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 up. Always. Always that. It's not bad to stick to yourself. It's not bad to stick to your gun. Not the, oh, sorry. I can't say that on YouTube. I didn't mean it in that way. But it's not bad to stick to your gut feeling about something. You know, even when somebody's trying to convince you that your gut feeling about something is wrong, you stick. Sometimes you trust your gut feeling because even if you are wrong, at least you made that choice. You don't want somebody else making a choice for you. Even if you are wrong, go with that choice. But basically, people, what I'm trying to say, as a positive person, my worst day is better than their best day. As a positive person, your worst day is going to be better than their best day. Their best day comes when something negative happens to somebody else. And that's very temporary. The joy for that is very temporary. Temporary. You got a giggle, a goggle. That's it. Your worst day is always going to be better than their best day because they started out negative. They had one goal on their mind, negativity. When this negativity doesn't work, it blows all the air out of their firing cells. You know what I mean? That boat need wind. You ain't giving it no wind. That boat needs wind to go down that river, sea, or wherever the hell it's going. It's gonna need some wind. Don't give it no wind. Your gut is right or wrong. Don't matter. It's your decision to make. You don't let nobody make that decision for you. They okay, we're not going to engage in the day because I hate going down that road of hater this and hater that and hater. That's some bullshit. I'm gonna take away the word hater, and I'm gonna say these people that people like to say that. Well, this person don't like me, and they put the word hater there for whatever reason. They put the word hater there. We're gonna take the word hater out, and we're gonna insert the word time wasters. Time wasters. These negative people waste more time than anybody on this planet. Now, I want you to pay attention to this. Peep game for 1 second. It's now September 19th, 2025, and it's 9:04.
During the pendency of this action. Now, here's what happened. They said on February 23rd, around 11 a.m., Los Angeles Sheriff's Department Detective Moore were on duty at the airport monitoring passengers exiting automatic doors between U.S. Airways and Southwest Airlines in the baggage area. Now, the detectives observed a male, later identified as Thornton, carrying a single carry-on bag. Then he went towards the exit. Now,
it is now 9:05. It will never be 9:04 on September 19th, 2025 again. We spent that whole minute waiting for the next minute. That minute will never be back again. These negative people are time wasters. Don't let them catch you up in that BS. We are on positivity. My name is Louis Lees III, and this is the Positive Network. Thank you for being here. If you go over to my eBay, and it's a code over there. Okay. I'm gonna find the code for you. I'm gonna get the code for you. I'm gonna get the code. 50% off everything at the store. I'm gonna get the goddamn. If there's anybody in there, I can't see right now, but I'm gonna get the goddamn code for you. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that.
Narcotics or any large amounts of money. Thornton replied that he was traveling with 2 or 3 thousand.
But then I never do it. I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna do it a little later, but
how did he not know how much money he was traveling with? Thornton, young Dolph appeared to not offer any explanation and continued to appear nervous. When asked whether he had any additional money or any carry-on bag, Thornton told the detective that there was not
the
any
code for that, John,
and that nobody had given
is
him anything.
POSITVEN, all capitals. That's positive N. POSITIVEN. You type in that code at checkout and you get the extra 50% off for everything, anything that you buy in the store. There are some used goods and some new goods there, but you get 50% off whatever. And like I said, thank you for being here, and let's get back into the book. I apologize for the long interruption.
When the detectives continued to ask questions about that carry-on bag,
this time was narrated with virtual voice. Computer-generated narration for audiobooks.
Within the bag. When asked about how much money in total was in
By
the
Kareem
carry-on bag,
Abdul-Rahman.
Thornton responded and said there was about 80,000 and that the money belonged to him.
Chapter
Thornton
1.
had no response when he
Meet
asked why.
Antonio.
He failed to tell the detectives about the additional
Antonio
money.
Thompson,
When the
a.k.a.
detectives originally spoke with
Tom
Thornton,
woke up inside.
they said young Dolph didn't have
Another
any
day of the
explanation.
bullshit.
Initially, he told the detectives
He thought
that
to
the money
himself,
found in the insole of
same
Thornton's
shit
shoe
every day.
did not belong
The way
to
that
him.
he was
When
feeling
young
right
Dolph
now,
removed the
death would
shoes
be
that
a
he had
welcome
on,
relief.
the detective
But he
found
damn
two
sure wasn't
additional
going to
bundles
kill
of money
himself.
underneath the shoe's
He
insole.
just bit his time
Thornton
and waited
also
until it
removed
was his
approximately
turn to go.
2,000 of U.S.
He
currency
wondered
from
how
his
his life
pants
got
pocket.
like this.
When asked why Thornton was
A bigger
traveling with such
question
a
was,
large
why
amount
did
of
God
money,
choose his
Thornton
life to be
replied
this way?
that he wanted to buy a car.
Had he really
However,
done anything
Thornton
that
was
was so
unable to
wrong to
identify
deserve
any
his position
specific
in life?
vehicle which he
Don
was
was what most
purchased,
people
and he
considered
hadn't
a
made any
loser.
appointments to any
Not just a
vehicle
person
sellers.
who caught a few bad
Furthermore,
breaks
when
in life,
asked Thornton
but a
why would he buy
habitual
a car in
loser.
California and drive
Even
it
when
back to
things seemed
Memphis,
to be going
when
good
gas
for
is
Tone
at
for a
$4
little
per
while,
gallon,
they
Thornton
always went
replied,
bad
"That's
quickly.
how I do it." So long story short, they searched his phone. Here are a
Tone
few
had
text
bad luck
messages.
ever
I'm in
since he
town.
could
I'll give you a
remember.
better price. Okay,
Back
I
in
can
grade
wait.
school,
Meet
he
me
seemed to be
here.
the
I
only
have
one to
13
get
OG.
caught trying to
And
do
his
something
others.
sneaky,
Long
like
story
passing
short,
notes
they
or
went
chewing gum
dog
in
in,
class.
dog, searched
One
the
time,
bag, and
Tone and
found
a bunch of his friends went to the corner
two
store
$1
after
bills,
school to
two
steal some
$5
snacks.
bills, eight $10
Everybody
bills,
stole a
14
quarter hug
$20
juice and
bills,
walked out of the store
31
successfully.
$50 bills,
When Tone tried to walk out of the
264
store, the cashier came from
$100
behind
bills,
the counter,
and that all
searched him,
equaled it
and
out.
found
So
the
here's the
juice he
thing:
had
he
hidden
took the
inside
money and
his
he
coat
couldn't get it
pocket.
back because
The
young
cashier
Doc
took
couldn't
Tone to his
prove
mother, and he
that the
got the
money
whooping
came
of
from
his
a
life in
legitimate
front of the whole neighborhood. Tone's luck didn't get any better in middle school. All the kids would sneak on the crowded buses through the back door. And out of more than 10 people, Tone was always the only one to get caught and put off the bus. His bad luck didn't stop there in middle school, though. One time he got caught cheating on a science test. The science teacher called his mom up to the school.
Now,
And
according
just
to
like
an
back in
article
elementary
that his
school,
life partner
Tone's
Leah
mom
reported,
came up
she
to the
said that
school
young
and
Dolph
whooped his
left
ass in front of
Atlanta, where
everyone.
they lived,
Tone
Monday.
figured his
He
luck would
was
surely
demented.
change once he
Now,
got
you know
to
for
high school.
sure, Monday
He was wrong
morning,
about that.
young Dolph had an appearance
It was
at
an
a
everyday
cancer
thing
center
at the high school
in
for people to
Memphis.
smoke
The
weed in the
date
bathroom.
was November
Tone
15th.
was never
He
one of
even
those who
gave an
smoked.
interview
One
where
day he
he thanked
decided
all
to
the
give it a
people at the
try.
cancer center.
And
I
right on
believe
cue,
he
the
spoke
principal
about
just
how he
happened
just
to be
wanted to
doing
say thank
rounds
the
of the
people
school
because
grounds that
they
day
took care of a
and
lot of
busted
people
Tone
during
smoking in
cancerous
the bathroom.
times, and how his
The school
aunt
didn't
and
have
his
him locked
uncle and a
up.
few
They
more
just
people
called
they
his
knew
mom and
actually
let her
visited
deal
that
with him.
particular location.
Tone
He
knew
just
what
wanted
was
to show
coming when
love
they
and
called
show
his
their
mom and
appreciation. Now,
prepared to
this
be
was
embarrassed
Monday.
again.
He passed away
To his
Wednesday.
surprise, when she got there, she did nothing.
I decided
She
to
felt that
visit
he was too
West
old to
Cancer
still be getting
Center,
embarrassed
the
at school.
clinic today,
She told
just
him
to
that
show
it
my
was time for him to be
appreciation
a man.
for like over
She
the
stopped
years.
giving him money, and Tone
I
had
have
to
several
find a way
family
to
members
make
that
some
come
money
through
on his
here
own.
and patients at this clinic. So
Tone started
I just
bagging
really
groceries
wanted
at the
to show
supermarket
up
on
and show them
weekends
my
to put a few
support,
dollars in
show
his
them
pockets.
my like
Tone
how
had
thankful
income
I
coming in,
am
but
just
his
for
bad
him
luck
being
in high
around.
school continued.
Then they actually
He
released a
got caught
picture
cutting
of young
classes
Dolph.
one day,
It
and
looks
the
like he's
school
in the Memphis
suspended him.
area.
Tone
Inner
was
city.
fed up with
He's
school and
taking a
decided
picture of
right then
someone's
that he would
father,
not be
and
returning
he
once
said
his
that he didn't have
suspension
that
was
much
over.
time, and he pretty much
On his
left
way
while he was
home
taking
that
a
day,
picture.
he ran into his
Then we
homie
fast
Mark.
forward to the Peabody
Him and a
Hotel
bunch
in
of
Memphis,
others were
Tennessee.
standing on 8th
He
Street
took a
selling
picture
weed.
with someone's niece,
Mark asked
and
Tone
this
if he
was
wanted
at
to
the
make some
hotel I
quick
believe
money.
he's staying at.
Tone said he did,
Fast
and
forward
Mark
to the
gave him
next day, November
$125
16th,
worth
a
of weed to
person that
sell.
posted him on their
Tone was to
Facebook.
keep the $25 for
Everybody
himself
thought
and
that
turn
young
in the
Dolph
rest to
passed
Mark.
away that actual
Tone
day,
had the weed in his
but
hands
it's
less
wrong.
than
It's
5 minutes
incorrect.
before
Person
police
who
cars
posted it
came from
said
every
that this
direction
was
and
the day
surrounded
before he
them.
passed on the
The police
16th.
jumped out and
He's
threw
wearing the
everyone
same
on the
clothes
ground.
that he allegedly passed
Just
away
Tone's
in,
luck, he
yellow
decided
shirt,
to
blue
start
pants.
selling weed on Task
Now
Force
here is young
Tuesdays.
Dolph that same night
Thursdays and
of being at
Tuesdays
the
were the
gas station.
Narcotics
He
Task
actually took a
Force days
picture
to pick a
at
drug
the
corner
Ruth
to
Chris.
bust. And just
So
Tone's
just want
luck,
to get on
today's
here and
target
talk
was the very
about
corner
when
that
we
Tone
found
was
out
standing on.
that Woody died
It was a very minor
and
charge,
how
but when he
dude
got
with
to
the
the police
dress
station,
was
the
with
officers
him.
told his
Like the
mom to
same
come
one
pick
that's
up her
supposed to
son.
got out
She told them to
busting
keep him.
after he had
She'd
already
already told him once that it
in
was
the
time
cookie
for him to
shop.
be a man,
He
and
was
she
with him
meant
the
it.
night before.
If he was
Matter
man
of
enough to get
fact,
himself into a
Dolph had
situation,
on the same
then he damn sure
clothes
better
that
be
he
man
died
enough to
in
get
the night
himself
before
out of
at
it.
Ruth Chris when we saw
Tone
him and
was
got the
15
latest
years old.
pictures. Like
Since his
literally,
mom
I was
didn't
the
want
last
him, the
one to
state would be
get
keeping
a
him until his
picture
18th birthday.
with him
Tone
while
discovered
he was
something
still
that made
alive.
him
So
happy
November
while he was
16th,
locked up in
boom, 9
juvenile
Sunday night
confinement.
to
Gambling. Tone
him
gambled
passing
on
away
anything.
between 12 and
You
1
name
on
it, and he bet on
Wednesday,
it. Sports,
November
dice, cards.
17th.
Tone bet on
Like
anything that was going
crazy.
on.
When we
He loved
locked
gambling.
up
It
on
made him
Dolph
feel
and
alive.
Ruth Chris after
The
having
adrenaline
dinner or
rush he got
whatever,
from
I
gambling
mean,
was like
we
being
went
on
to Dolph was
drugs.
there
He had to have
and
it.
he wasn't
The
acting
only
like
problem
security.
was that
Like
Tone
he
was a
just
loser.
Dolph
He
had a
lost a
bag
lot
with
more than he
him
won.
that he was carrying
It was
himself.
something like
The other
85%
dude
to
with the
15%
dress,
in
the one that
Lucy's
got
favor.
arrested that say that jumped
This
out
kind
of
of
the
luck was never
Draco,
good,
busting
but it was very bad and
after.
quick.
Like I have
It
so
was
many
very
questions
bad
because he was
prison.
not
Where that
acting
was going.
security like when we were able to
That
walk
was
up on him.
Can't
Like
Get
he
It
had
Right
a dress
by
and my boyfriend
Kareem
had his
Abdul
little tie,
Rahman.
but he didn't know who
The
dressed us.
Kindle
Like
is
he didn't
99
know who was
cents.
there.
Get it
Like
free if you got
he
Amazon
just let us
Prime.
walk up on
The
him. So
audiobook is
we
free
were
with a
wondering
membership.
like,
You can cancel
is
anytime
dude
you want,
homie
and
or
the
security?
paperback is
I mean, she was mad weird. We took the
$11.99.
pictures. We met him. He was telling us he was here for the turkey drive and he appreciated us supporting him. And you know, when we walked out that parking lot, it was
was empty. It was a very, very eerie
Oh,
feeling out
the
there.
question
Like
of
it
the
was
night
very stale.
is,
Like all the cars
where is
had
it?
dissipated.
Are we as adults
They were out
underestimating how
there.
smart children are
You know, I
and
heard y'all
why?
say, as young dogs, like we walk onto the car,
And my
we
answer
waving,
was
saying
yes.
bye, good night.
I think we do
And the first
underestimate
conversation,
how
as soon as
smart
we got in
these
the car,
children
it was
are.
like,
Smart
what
and
was up,
slick
security?
and
But
conniving.
Doc himself
We
seemed
think they're so
down in spirit. Like
naive
he
to
seemed
everything.
happy. Like how you
And
see
they
him
dealing with technology that we wasn't dealing with
on
growing
TV.
up.
He did not
You know, they
seem
already
just
writing on
overjoyed.
playing with
Like he
tablets.
was in a
They
Jeep.
babies, they can't even talk yet. They already playing
Like
with
I said, we
tablets
went
and shit.
outside.
So,
They were out there by
you
the
know, they
car.
probably way more conniving than we as adults really want to give them credit for. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't have all that when we was
November
coming up.
17th when he passed away
They
around
got
12
that.
o'clock.
So, you know,
Now,
they
according to
learning a
reports,
lot more than then. They watch
Makita shot
YouTube all
around 12
goddamn day.
o'clock, 12:15,
They learn a lot more than we were
which is
learning.
watering some
But
cookies.
that's the
Two
question of the
masked
night.
men came from
Do you
behind,
think we
ambushed
as
him,
adults are
shot him
giving
over
these
22
kids
times, and this is
enough
after
credit
effect.
for how smart that they are? Or how smart they are? I do think they are underestimated. Okay, this book right here is called Writing and Publishing a Book is Probably Not as Hard as You Think. Writing and Publishing a Book is Probably Not as Hard as You Think by Kareem Rahman. It's only in Kindle, only in ebook form, only in ebook form. No paperback, no
about what
audio.
exactly happened.
But I
Of
will
course,
read
this is
the
all
description.
hearsay. This was released maybe a day or two after Young Dolph passed. But
Have you ever thought about writing a book? Have you ever thought about self-publishing a book? Did the thought of these things being too difficult for you to do ever stop you from doing so? Are you a first-time author? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then this book is for you. My name is Kareem Rahman, and I've self-published over 20 books. Allow me to show you how easy this is to do and give you a few helpful tips I've learned along the way. The kind of things that are considered game secrets. Most people want you to think that self-publishing is hard simply because having done something that someone else has not done strokes the ego. The truth is, self-publishing a book is really not all that difficult. If you've managed to find this book, then you have what it takes to self-publish a book. That ebook only is 54 pages.
Who was known in the Memphis area, he's an OG, explaining exactly what happened to Young Dolph that day, how he was too comfortable in his own hood. He said this Makita store or cookie shop was so local in the area that everybody went there. Young Dolph has been coming there for the past 10 years. And Young Dolph was like a regular
This
dude.
is Strange Acquaintances, Volume 2.
He would be at the
Oh, Ronaldo.
$300,000 worth of jewelry.
You can get the Kindle for $4.99, or you can read it free if you have Amazon Prime, and you can get the audiobook free with a membership trial. It's not in paperback. This book is not in paperback. It's not long enough to be in paperback. I actually wrote this book in one night. I'm not bragging, but I'm just saying this is the description. In episode 2 of the Strange Acquaintances series of short stories, readers are introduced to Ronaldo, a real player and ladies man. Ronaldo's world is turned upside down when he meets a woman in a red dress during a wild night in Paris. Ronaldo begins to question what is real and what is a figment of his own imagination. The woman in the red dress makes Ronaldo second guess everything he thought he knew about himself. Ren drives himself crazy trying to figure out what's real and what is fake. It's almost like someone else in control of his life. It's almost like someone else is control of his life and he's just a piece on the checkers board. Almost like his whole life was being hacked into by a bunch of weirdos. This is a sample from Ronaldo.
This title was narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. Strange Acquaintances by Louis Leach III.
They knew who did it, why they did it. And then there was
Episode 2, Ronaldo
I want to show you
by
what
Louis Leach
people that
III.
actually knew Dolph and people
Strange
that were associated with
Acquaintances,
Dolph in the public,
written by Louis
what they
Leach
had to
III.
say about it. Now, first up,
Copyright 2025 by Yorkbound Enterprise. All rights reserved.
Reached out to
Any similarities to actual people or events is purely coincidental and from the author's imagination. Ronaldo is a work of fiction dedicated to all the winners and the losers. Table of contents. Chapter 1, Newfangled. Chapter
I've
2,
been new
Road to
fangled.
even
Redemption.
though he's a brother.
Chapter 3,
I've been new fangled.
Chapter 1,
This is one of my favorite books. That's why I get so excited.
Today started off just like any other day for 45-year-old Ronaldo P. Rice, Jr. Wake up, get dressed, go to work, and be the full-time player that he was.
Passed away, he spoke about
There's a mistake in there. I meant 46-year-old right now.
everybody wanted you to die.
Ronaldo walked through the doors of the factory like he owned the place.
I wonder why
It kind of seemed like he did sometimes, though, because everyone always went out of their way to speak to him or be around him. Ronaldo didn't own the place, but he was considered royalty around these parts. Ren had been working at the factory's facility in Center City for around 10 years now. There was nothing about the job that he didn't know. Nothing. 10 years at a gig made a person a vet, but 10 years working for the city made a person a boss in the eyes of some. Ren had a city job. He fully believed in the city job theory, so that was how he played it. As a motherfucking boss, Ren started working at the Center City location almost immediately after he was released from county jail 10 years ago. Ren had been sitting in CFCF for close to 2 weeks after failing to come up with 10% of the money he owed for unpaid traffic tickets. His tab had run up into the thousands of dollars range before he was finally yanked into traffic court to answer for the multiple driving violations he racked up over the years. Ren was the owner of around $5,000 worth of unpaid tickets, all of which were moving violations. Speeding, running red lights, reckless driving, you name it, and Ren likely had been ticketed for it. The judge at traffic court kind of stuck it to Ren when he went in front of her. She wanted Ren to come up with at least $500 before she would allow him to go on any type of payment program. 5 bills was not something that Ren possessed at the time or could come up with. He'd already burned most of his bridges with close friends and family for borrowing money and not paying it back.
I'm listening to this book and I'm listening to this Ronaldo guy with all these goddamn tickets. I mean, I'm not that character Ronaldo, but I'm facing that predicament. Probably why I threw that shit in there. I'm facing that predicament right now, man. These motherfucking. Well, I mean, can't really say because, like, this is my fault. I should have my sister right there. You gotta take responsibility for that. That's part of the positive network. I was about to throw some blame out there, but you got to take responsibility for this shit. That's on me. I got to take responsibility. But anyway, the question of the night is, okay. Are we as adults underestimating how smart children are and why? Once again, I say yes because I say technology. They got the kind of technology that we got. Kids, they don't really have to go outside that much or like that, like we used to. Like, even if you wanted to see your friends, you had to go outside. You wanted to see your friends and play, you had to go outside. Find something to do out there, but they ain't got that shit. Motherfuckers be home playing with their best friend on the PlayStation or whatever. So speaking of them PlayStation or whatever, the last PlayStation that I played was PlayStation 2. And that shit was a long time ago. I haven't played. I don't have no video game. I haven't played video. That's not something that I'm saying. I'm just saying like sometimes I do kind of miss that shit, like kicking back and just. But I ain't got the kind of time to take for that shit. And I know motherfucker gonna say it only take 5 minutes. You wanna play for 5 minutes and put it down to good. I ain't got the time to stop what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to knock video games or nothing. I used to love them motherfuckers, man. I used to love them motherfuckers, but I think that shit take up too much time. Maybe that should be a topic. Okay, that's a subtopic. Do video games take up too much time? No. How do you feel about video games? No. Okay. Just do you play video games? No.
Now, weeks after everything pretty much went quiet for the Young Dolph case, they had a big break in the case. They found the getaway car that was involved with the shooting. Now, this car was discovered maybe 2 blocks away from the Nikita store
I really don't,
two
because
blocks away from where
what are
Young
we
Dolph
saying
grew up
about
at.
the, well, what am I saying
Fast
about the
forward
video
in
game?
January 5th to
Like
be
it take,
exact,
okay.
they put a warrant out for the arrest of the
You,
suspects. It was two people,
you,
Justin Johnson and
yeah.
Cornelius Smith. Now, both of them were caught. Justin Johnson, also known as a rap name,
I ain't video
Straight
game.
Drop.
What the fuck is
He
video?
was
I'm old as
arrested by
shit.
the U.S. Marshals.
Do you have time for what the fuck is video game? I'm old as shit. I don't even know what this shit is called. Do you have time for gaming? That sounds creepy as shit. That sounds creepy.
What makes everything crazy is this guy Straight Drop is a rapper. He was affiliated with Young Dolph at one point. I guess the relationship turned sour. Here's the exclusive footage of Straight Drop. Same night that Young Dolph passed away, he went to Instagram Live. Everybody in the comments was saying he did it and he was responsible. Make sure you look at the comments.
Yeah, like you got time for it. Like, 'cause I don't really think, I don't know, man. That shit, like, I don't know. Jesus on. Jesus on. But like I said, I just play video games like a motherfucker. But the last one I played was PlayStation 2. I don't even know what those shits be like sometimes. This one is book 3 of the Strange Acquaintances series. My latest and great, well, not my greatest, but my latest book, Strange Acquaintances, Volume 3, Gobbles Johnson, and the Dick Watcher.
Almost a year after Cornelius Smith
Gobbles
Johnson, Justin Johnson were arrested. Two other people were arrested. One by the name of
book is $4.99 for the Kindle.
He's the one that's
the
allegedly the mastermind who hired the people to
paperback.
actually take down Dolph. And also another guy, Jamarcus Johnson. Same last name is Straight Drop Justin Johnson, which is his half brother. He's an accessory after the fact.
It has a listening time of 55 minutes, less than an hour. Here's the description. In Volume 3 of the Strange Acquaintances series, the reader will be introduced to 45-year-old mother of two, Tomiko Chance. Tomiko's life is forever affected by childhood trauma suffered at the hands of loved and trusted ones. Those trauma issues suffered in the past lead to things Tomiko and her sidekicks are into to this day. And here is a sample of Gobbles Johnson and the Dick Watcher.
This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. Strange Acquaintances by Lou is Leach III. Volume colon 3. Gobbles Johnson and the Watchers. Written by Lou is Leach III. Gobbles Johnson and the Watchers is a work of fiction. Names, characters, and events are from the author's imagination or used fictitiously. Any resemblance to actual people or events is purely coincidental. No parts of this book may be reproduced or transmitted without consent from the author, except in the case of small quotes used for reviews. York-bound Publications. Copyright 2025 by York-bound Enterprise. Table of Contents. Chapter 1, Trauma. Chapter 2, looking at the ticket in her hand once again. 382516-9-6223. Gigi mouthed the numbers in silence. The ticket she was holding had every one of those numbers, even the Powerball number, 3. Gigi sat there for 5 more minutes checking the winning numbers and then checking
GG is short for Gobbles.
the number on her ticket. She tried her hardest to find the mistake. I mean, there clearly had to be one. There was no way in hell that she just hit the damn Powerball. Most people would have found it hard to believe they were holding a winning Powerball ticket. Gigi was just like most
November
people,
17th,
except
2021.
her disbelief ran a little deeper than most.
In the hip-hop
Gigi believed that she was the type of person that things like this didn't happen to. Things like this usually happen to other people, not her. As far as Gigi was concerned, the only luck that ever came her way was bad. Tamiko Chance was born and raised in North Philadelphia.
Tamiko Chance was born and raised in North Philadelphia. Tamiko Chance was born and raised in North Philadelphia. Has anybody seen Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Bo? Has anybody seen Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Bo? Okay, this is straight scandalous. Has anybody seen Richie? Anybody seen Bobby Bo? The Kindle edition is $4.99 to buy. You can get it free if you have Amazon Prime. The audio book is free if you get a membership trial. Once again, the paperback is $11.99. This is straight scandalous. Sex sells. Tawana learned this early on in life and has been applying this knowledge to every aspect of her life ever since. Tawana had no problem with using what she had in order to get what she wanted. Tawana's daughter, who was only 15 years younger than her, was the complete opposite. Ali wanted nothing from anyone. She believed that hard work was the thing that got you to the top. Ali was an up-and-coming R&B singer whose career had risen earlier, but was now stuck at a standstill. Tawana played a big part in getting Ali to the point she was at today by having sex with every person connected to the music industry that she could find. But even that failed to take Ali's career to that next level. All of that changed when Ali met a local superstar in the R&B world named Ken Dolly. Meeting him turned out to be a blessing and a curse at the same time. Ali's career was sure to skyrocket after meeting him, but her relationship with her mother was threatened to become broken beyond repair. Everybody wants something and everything has a price. This is the ultimate story of everything not being what it seems when you're looking at it from the outside. In a world that's fueled by greed, treachery, lust, and deceit, people tend to become straight scandalous. Here's the preview.
At a South Memphis cookie shop.
There will be extra police presence in many parts of the city. They might have
This
a connection
is
to the popular rapper to make sure there is no more violence.
Written by Kareem Abdul-Rahman, narrated by
An
Tracy
11-year-old family
Felix
starring
Christian.
rapper heartbroken over young
If
dog's
you dig
death.
deep enough beneath the surface,
Says
you
his
may
son
be
was going to be in
surprised
a
by what
video
you
with
might
dogs.
find.
If you dig deep enough beneath the surface, those quotes at the beginning of the book are mine. That one said, if you dig deep enough, something.
New
Hold
details
on.
this morning in the
Let me
murder
run
of
that
rapper
back.
Young Dolph. The second
She was 10
suspect is
years
now in
old.
custody.
She was
Yeah,
intrigued
that's
by
right.
every basis. She would have went away.
Memphis authorities say Justin Johnson was arrested
Tawana
Tuesday
frowned
afternoon
as she
in
watched.
Indiana. The
If you
23-year-old
dig
has
deep
now
enough
been
beneath the
indicted on
surface,
first
you may be
charges.
surprised by what you might
Last month,
find.
police arrested
If
and
you
charged
dig
another
deep
man
enough
in
beneath
connection
the
with
surface,
murder.
you may be surprised by what you might find. And you may not be surprised by what you find way underneath the goddamn surface. This is the Positive Network, and I am Louis Least III.
Chapter 1. Your life, my life. Tawana frowned as she watched her daughter admiring her outfit in the large full-body mirror. That do not look good on you. Take that off and put on the dress I laid out for you. It looks much better than that shit you got on right now. Allie looked at her mother through the mirror and rolled her eyes. Her mom always pulled this kind of stuff on her. She always acted like she didn't have taste, or everything she did was obviously so wrong in some kind of way. She was always very blunt about it too. It made Allie insecure at times. It made her feel stupid even though she knew she wasn't. Allie graduated at the top of her class 4 years ago and would have easily got into any college she wanted, but she didn't want to go to college. Allie wanted to pursue her dreams. If she would have known that pursuing her dreams would have meant having to deal with her mother on a daily basis, she would have went away to college in a heartbeat just to put some distance between herself and her mother. It wasn't because she didn't love her. Allie loved her mother dearly, and she appreciated all the sacrifices Tawana had made for her over the years. The reason that she wanted to get away from her mother for a while was for the exact thing that she was doing right now, being over the top with everything.
Now I'm gonna call him your big sister.
Tawana could have just as easily said what she had to say in a nicer way. It seemed like she never considered Allie's feelings when she talked to her. Allie never said anything about the way Tawana's bluntness with words made her feel. She simply acted like it didn't bother her, just like she was doing right now. Allie grabbed the dress off the bed and walked into the bathroom to try it on. Tawana shook her head as she watched Allie walk into the bathroom with the dress. She wondered what the hell was wrong with her only child. She walked around here with a natural body that most women would probably be glad to pay thousands of dollars for, and she always wanted to dress like a damn boy. No matter how hard she tried, Tawana just couldn't understand what Allie was thinking at times. Allie did not appreciate the looks or body that she was blessed with, and she definitely didn't understand the power that her pussy was packing. Tawana shook her head again as she thought about how naive Allie was to life. If I was her age and had her talent, I would be on tour with Beyonce right now. Tawana smirked. She honestly believed what she just said. Tawana has never been the type to be shy about using what she had to get what she wanted. That was mostly how she got Allie's career to where it was at today. Allie wasn't on the mainstream level yet. Hell, she wasn't even all that known locally. But because of Tawana, she met some power players at the local radio stations and local record producers. Tawana had made that happen primarily by sleeping with a bunch of people. Allie had a big voice and much personality when she was performing on stage, but in real life, Allie was very shy. Tawana was the total opposite. Tawana was the life of the party wherever she went. It would be a hard job to find a picture of Tawana without some sort of drink in her hand. Tawana was enjoying her life. She was enjoying Allie's life too. Tawana was living out the life she'd always dreamed of having through her daughter. Why shouldn't she? Tawana loved her daughter to death, but she was sure that if she had not had Allie at such a young age, her life would have been much different. Tawana Richardson was born in Chester, PA. She was the youngest of 5 siblings, all boys except for her. Tawana never knew her father, and neither did her brothers. Because they had no real father figure in their lives, Tawana's brothers were always very protective of their only sister. They also took it upon themselves to make sure they made her hard enough to face the world that was out there waiting for her. Tawana learned how to fight by the time she was 8 years old, after constantly getting beat up by her older brothers. By the time she was 10 years old, she was in the streets fighting and beating up boys as old as 16. To no one's surprise, Tawana was a rough and rugged tomboy. Her tomboy phase didn't last long, though. At 12 years old, Tawana became very interested in boys. Tawana was a cute little girl, and all of the little boys loved her. She quickly noticed that boys would do anything to get her attention. They gave her candy, potato chips, and all kinds of snacks just for a little bit of her time and attention. Tawana wondered, what could she get out of the little boys if she kissed a few of them?
That's where several people told us how close it came
You've
and
reached
how
the
lucky
end of
they
this
were not to
preview.
get hit.
To listen to the full title, you can buy it in your play.
Caught in the line of fire, this woman
That
says
cat,
she was
I ain't
dragging
close
her
it down. That cat
92-year-old
wanna be in there. She
grandmother
want the door
home
closed and
when
see
she
me
saw
sleep sometimes.
flying off the pavement.
All of a sudden, she's ducking, and I'm thinking,
But,
Here's another recommendation
no.
based on your listening.
and backed up, and then flew down the
This
street
is
right
Mom.
there.
That was straight
She later
scandalous.
discovered this hole and
Like
other
Kareem
damage to her
Abdul-Rahman
car.
has
Police
had
say
5
more than
hours and
100
44
shots were
minutes of
fired
blank
just
time.
after 6:30 Saturday night Here,
And
near the 600
the
block of
Kindle
North
is
Caldwell, on one
$4.99.
side of the
Get it
street,
free
an
if you
apartment
have Amazon
complex,
Prime.
windows riddled
The
with.
audio book
On the
is
other,
free
vendors
if you
set
have a
up for
membership
people
card,
enjoying
and the
the
paperback book
CIAA
is
festivities.
It's
$11.90.
crazy when you think about it
Nah.
because I was extremely surprised that no one
And
got shot during off.
This
I'm
woman was
about to hit
working
an
in a
hour, so
food
I'm
truck with her
about to be
brother
up
when
out of
the
here.
fire began.
I thank anybody for watching. Thank you for the hello to the people that did interact. And this video is going to be on the page. I know how to make it public now. You can still answer the question. The question is on that at any time, and it will be in the title. And
He's disappointed.
if you watch,
Things
I
like
don't care
this
how long
take
you watch.
away from
Thank
the
you
more
for stopping
positive
by.
aspects
See
of
you tomorrow.
CIAA weekend.
Even with the incidents I had, it did nothing affected us. And I think what it was that maybe
don't the fuck
came
do
from
it.
was
Also,
people that
peace and don't the fuck do it. Also.
A little bit over 6 months.